on Islam Channel, Living the Life.
Living the life. Living the life. Living the life. Living the life. Living the life.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to tonight's episode of Living the Life with your host, Basit Khan.
And Joseph Hayat. As always, we're here to spice up your evening with our unique mix of guests and stories from around the world.
What kind of masala are we adding?
Masala, spice, curry, you name it, we're going to throw it all in.
I'm very happy I'm with you today, by the way.
As always, likewise.
Don't get me wrong, I respect everyone, but we had a good mix last Thursday. But today, mine is the
Are you saying you prefer me over the others?
That would be a discriminatory and unequal opportunity of a statement to say. But tonight we're talking endurance, past and present. We're taking a step back in time and one ahead with some very interesting topics. Our first guests tonight are two men with real aspiration, but they're not just talking about it, they're actually delivering a service pivotal to their community. But it doesn't end there.
That's right. The Ultimate Sport Kickboxing Association from Birmingham is set to challenge participants to 100 spars or rounds of boxing, taking an intense 300 minutes to complete non-stop in aid of charity. Here to tell us about their journey to date and the event, our brother's chief instructor, Neil Kelly, and event project manager, Rizwan Mustafa. Assalamu alaikum for joining us.
100 spars?
100 spars.
What's this all about, Neil?
Basically, it's a collective of people of all different demographics, children, adults, experienced world champions, all getting together on one day and basically trying to complete 100 rounds of boxing body shot sparring. Very physical event.
I'm glad you clarified that, because a minute I was beginning to think it's a spa, as in we go in a spa and just relax. I could take part in that.
Yeah, I think we'd have more than 80 volunteers for that.
But 80 already you have confirmed?
We've got 80 people pledged, but along with that on the day, we encourage people from the community to come and just jump in for a round and do a token round, obviously, for the cause. So, yeah.
Wow, so this is literally just what 80 people are going to box and any form of discipline, I imagine, boxing or kickboxing.
I mean, we're obviously from a kickboxing discipline, but we've contacted local clubs within the area, other martial arts clubs, boxing clubs, and yeah, basically everybody's welcome. If you're of I wouldn't even say a decent level of fitness, if you're physically fit enough to jump in and do one round for the cause. And then we've got the hardcore 100, we call them the hardcore 100, that are going for the full 100 rounds, which takes over 5 hours. So.
Gosh,
yeah.
Well, I have to say, I love innovation when it comes to fundraising for charity. It's the first time I've heard of something like this, to be honest with you. Something remarkable.
I know. I'm laughing because Rizwan's like, yeah. Are you one of the hardcore 100? Is it going to be go hard or go home?
I'm still smiling from the introduction that you gave me because I'm buzzing off that and I feel very, very important. So, yeah, inshallah, you know, I'm hopefully going to do the 100 rounds. We done it last time in 2010, which is a while ago, and we were 5 years younger, 5 years more youthful. And now, you know, the time's not on our side. Age has creeped up on us, white hairs and pain in the joints and all the rest of it. But hopefully, inshallah, if Allah wills, we're going to try and do the 100 rounds and go the distance.
And is each round the standard 3 minutes, or how long is a round?
We actually we do it over 2 minute rounds, which is actual kickboxing duration,
right?
Which obviously the kids cope with a little bit more. But you tend to get, when you get the shorter rounds of the 2 minutes rather than 3 minutes, it tends to be more intense. So it's harder in the long run. So yeah, 2 minute rounds, 1 minute rest.
And you say you've done this before. So what kind of response did you get? I mean, was it light-hearted, or did people get all serious and think, you know, I'm gonna knock this guy out?
That was this man. Yeah. No, it was when we did it the first time. Obviously, it was new ground. We hadn't done it before. We didn't really know what to expect. Some people, obviously, with the sport of kickboxing and boxing, that I'm not going to lie, that our egos involved. We got some people there that seemed to be trying to punch holes in us, and then other people that were doing it within the, you know, the feel of what we were looking for, which was light control sparring. But yeah, I mean, it's a physical test. I mean, it's good to see whatever thrown at you that you can deal with as well. So.
Well, you talk about ego and personality nonsense, but actually you're a bit of a modest man yourself. We've been doing our homework on you, and you've had some quite achievements. As much as they're not summarised in one place, you're not bigging it up, but we're going to big it up. You've been quite the man recently over the last 10 years.
Well, I finished my professional fighting career when I was 28, which is like quite young but I wanted to concentrate on the teaching and the coaching side of it. And then in 2011, I had a few itches that I needed to scratch, so I made a comeback in 2011. Won the World Championships in 2011, had a year off.
He just passes out. Yeah, I just I won the World Championships.
So you were a world champion in kickboxing?
Yeah, I'm a 5 times world champion.
Five-time world champion we've got sitting here with us.
I purposely didn't tell him that before we came on, by the way.
Okay.
Because I want to reiterate the fact you've been so modest, because that's what, we always say on this show about community champions and actually, and it's not just a soundbite, but it's actually trying to get real champions on the sofa.
I think it's the humility and the humbleness that people have, that, we don't let these things get to us, and we don't build our ego, because all of this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the day.
Well, we're leaving you on a bit of a cliff end, a hanger there, because we've got to talk about a 5-time world champion, but this time now there's something else.
It's time now indeed for a break, but be sure to join us after the break for what is going to be a historic feature on the way, but plus you get a chance to participate on the show. See you shortly.
Living the life.
Well, there's certainly going to be 100... Not 100,000. Maybe, you never know. You never know what the response rate could be. This could be the start of something crazy.
Indeed.
But 100 spars are going to be happening. And we were talking about this, weren't we? You were telling us about your event coming up this weekend. But you were so modest, and for those that weren't tuned in, you're, of course, a 5-time world kickboxing champion. I'm just going to say that again.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously nothing to do with the event, but yeah, in my history, I was a professional kickboxer up until 2002, and then made a comeback in 2011, Pro-Am, and picked up a few world titles. And yeah, now we're trying to push the big 100-round event and maybe inspire some people that are there just watching as spectators on the day to take up the sport and, champions of the future.
Now, we were talking about that kickboxing is as hard as and as intense as boxing. Yet it doesn't get that kind of coverage in the UK. I mean, obviously, in Thailand, we're saying it's a national sport there. But here, it's not given as much, or people don't take that much interest.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it is a minority sport, and it is a shame because the participants are equally as dedicated. They train as hard, if not harder, than, any other sport, pro boxing included. But the financial rewards aren't there, and the sponsorship and the TV coverage. But martial arts is so big in the UK. It's people are doing it for the love and for the passion, and it will always be there. And I suppose it only takes one big break. Maybe this will be the big break. Who knows?
Indeed.
Well, Rizwan, talking about the break, where did you break the mould into getting into this? What was your journey? You're, of course, project managing this event this weekend. But beyond that, in terms of your involvement with your association, where did that begin, and what's your journey been?
Wow. With USKA itself, I've known Neil probably now for about 15, 16 years, and we were talking about this on the way down. It's been about 16 years. I happened to walk into a gym, and Neil was teaching his kickboxing side, and I thought, that's interesting. And we kind of became friends from there. We hit it off. And then had like 15 years of great friendship. And since in that 15-year period, Neil converted to Islam as well. And we kind of found a mutual understanding. He helped me out. He beat up on me for like 15 years, and I helped him out with faith matters. But then a few years ago, in 2010, with things that were going on around the world, we decided that we wanted to try and do something to help those who were struggling, and particularly in Gaza and Palestine. So in 2010, we organised 100 rounds of boxing sparring, and we'd done it back then. And it was kind of a refreshing achievement for us to do that, because we'd never done anything like that before. Neil, I think, professionally had never sparred that kind of time, and me as a rank amateur, I've never done anything like that before. So for me, it was a fantastic achievement.
But this isn't dangerous, is it? Because I'm just thinking, these kids are coming in, they want to spar. I mean, must be some kind of supervision, right?
Yeah. Well, Americanised them. I don't like it. Let's have a look at this footage. Actually, we've got to show the safety and how inspiring it is. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm only teasing you. I wanted to. Sir Neil, what's happening here? So this is your guys in full swing. This is people of all ages. But what's actually really inspiring me about this is the fact you're so diverse in your group you've got there.
Yeah, this footage is from a beginner's class, so people that are walking in off the street that haven't done anything before. And on a basic beginner's class, we'll work on fitness, flexibility, basic kickboxing technique. And obviously that's like your basics of the martial art. At a later stage, then they move on to actually hitting things like pads and bags and Rizwan, people. Yeah, so that's beginner's class footage. So if, like people that wanted to take up martial arts, that's the kind of thing that you'd be looking at.
What kind of age range are we talking about?
Well, our youngest student is probably just turned 4.
Wow,
and we class them as our little ninjas.
Gosh.
But that class isn't just martial arts, it's coordination, confidence building, balance, and as well discipline. And we start our beginners from about 6 years old, and I think our oldest student currently is about 65.
Wow.
So it is a wide spectrum of ages, yeah.
It's really, really good. And in terms of, obviously, amongst you saying children involvement there, confidence building, is that something, have you seen any trends in the last few years especially? Have you found that young people have needed more support, or is there anything particularly standing out in terms of engagement?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, with technology and people spending more time, or kids spending more times on their phones and on their consoles, and there's less social interaction with other kids. And as a result, I mean, I remember when we were kids and we were climbing trees and we were running fields, and you just can't do that anymore with the way things are. So the martial arts tends to get them to come out of themselves, interact with other children, build confidence, build a discipline. And contrary to belief, kickboxing isn't a violent sport. It's, you know, it's very disciplined, it's very controlled. We've got the aspect of the practicality like boxing, but it's stooped in tradition of the traditional martial arts like karate and kung fu and taekwondo. So, yeah, and confidence for me, I mean, I wasn't the most confident as a child, and, you know, it certainly brought me out of my shell. My little nephew, he's just not long started, 5 years old, and his confidence is growing. You can see it before your eyes. It's absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic. Fantastic. It's really, I'm really opening your eyes, and I'm sorry
absolutely.
for bringing down your aspiration in your questions. And we've got some great guests, haven't we? So,
Absolutely.
Listen, guys, it's been very insightful. We genuinely wish you all the best for the event on Saturday. Now, if people do want to participate, if they're they've seen it, they want to get involved, or they just want to sponsor someone, perhaps they can't get to Birmingham, how do they do that, and where's the best place to go?
Well, best place to go is probably on the USKA website for contact details, but also we've got a Virgin Giving page as well, www.virginmoneyGiving.com/team/GRF. If somebody's had the time to write all that down. Or alternatively, just look us up. We're on pretty much social media. If they make contact with the Kickboxing Academy, they'll be able to point them, whoever it is, in the right direction. You know, we're raising money for food parcels for the Palestinians and the Syrians, and our aim is to try and feed 500 families through the Global Rahmah Foundation by the end of this event, inshallah. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging, but you know, at the end of the 5 hours, our pain stops, our suffering stops, and those who we're raising for, theirs doesn't, and that's I suppose the essence of why we're doing this.
So well, Allah make it easy for you and bless you and give you barakah for all the great work that you're doing, inshallah. Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this evening. As always, it's a huge thank you to our respected guests this evening. We've had a really interesting conversation tonight, so thank you all for that.
It doesn't end there. Stay with us on Twitter @IslamChannel, #LTL, on Facebook.com/The Islam Channel. Plus, don't forget, you can watch your favourite clips again, of course, via YouTube.com/IslamChannelTV. But most importantly, be sure to email us your stories and community champions. Once again, it's LTL@IslamChannel.tv.
Indeed, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time of 7 p.m. British summertime. But until then, stay safe and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
We keep on living the life. Keep on living. Living the life. Living the life. Keep on living. Living the life. Living the life.